Sodalis. So, let's talk about virtual assessment. But before we start, let me point out that we've been taking the assessment beam, the thing that we usually use to look out and, etymologically speaking, sit down next to our students and look at their performance. We've actually been taking that beam for the last several of these videos and bending it. So yeah, we're looking at the work we do with our students, but we're also bending it back so that we can observe ourselves too. We've been doing some self-assessment for a reason. And the reason why is it's a hard time of year, right, guys? It's October. And everybody knows, if they've ever been a teacher, that October is a hard month. You find that out when you're a new teacher, and then you discover that it's not just you, and then you discover that it's pretty much everybody. And then, I mean, it's true, but it's also kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Because October is supposed to be a hard month, and it's hard. Well, this year, October is a hard month. Whether it was a self-fulfilling prophecy or not, it really doesn't matter, right? Because here we are, and it's hard. And it's harder than usual. And it may be feeling like this hard, right? When I saw this picture, I actually went looking for it because I said there's got to be a picture of some camels in a desert. Sometimes as teachers we feel like camels, right? We feel like we've got all these burdens. And you know, a camel, it can carry a lot of burdens if it's trained and domesticated and stuff, right? I mean, they carry huge, heavy packs. And there's that old saying about the straw that broke the camel's back, but we don't really like to think about that part. Because as teachers, we want to be strong. And we want to be strong for others. We don't want to be like selfishly strong. We want to be strong for our students, and we want to be strong for, and strong for, and strong for. And we tell ourselves this story about how we've got to be strong, and good teachers are strong, and good teachers are tough, and good teachers can take one more thing. And then all of a sudden, one more thing is too much, and then there feels like the story about the straw breaking, the saying, right? About the straw breaking the camel's back. Well, so, are you feeling like a camel today? And if you've been feeling like a camel, are you feeling like a story camel? The one that just keeps like adding and adding and adding and adding burdens, and it never complains until suddenly, I mean, it might spit, but you know, suddenly it breaks. Or are you feeling more like a real camel? Because real camels are a little bit different from story camels. So real camels, yeah, they live in the desert. And when they're not domesticated, I learned this today, they live in groups of like 6 to 20. And there's a alpha male camel and a group of female camels and young camels. And all the camels are very attached to the young, and the young stay with their mom for like 5 years until they're fully mature. And then, you know, then there's the part about driving the young men into the desert. But I don't want to think about that part. I want to think about the fact that they've got these groups, that they really aren't alone. And yeah, they're strong and they're tough, but they're stronger and tougher together. And they really don't have any natural predators except us and like the occasional like really desperate panther or leopard or something. The one article said, but they don't have natural predators. And they do work as like a cooperative community, and they care for each other. And I thought that was a great image for us as teachers at times when we're feeling overburdened, right? Because if you change the framework a little bit, if you change the lens, you change the label, you use a little bit of a different story, things can feel very different. And it can be a dramatic transformation. all of a sudden, when you're supported, when there's like other camels around too, it isn't lonely. And camels don't think that deserts are bad places because they are adapted to living in deserts. And then I found this picture. And this picture was actually in the placeholder in the presentation theme that I'm using today. And I love this picture because isn't that what we all want? Don't we all want to be kind of surrounded by a beautiful garden? Don't we all want to have that childlike wonder, maybe even in ourselves, definitely in our students? And this is a beloved child, right? This is not a child who's alone. This is a child who, just like those baby camels, is surrounded by a caring community. So I kind of want to be both the camel, or one of the camels, and if not the little girl, then I think it's the little girl, the child. If not the child, then at least, one of the parents of the child or one of the people, the adults that care for this child. And I love that beautiful garden, and I kind of want to be part of that too. So, are you ready to make the move from a story that isn't working to one that works better? From a set of labels and lenses that worked okay, but now they aren't, to maybe find a set that works better for today? If you are, you guys know how to reach me. And there'll be more coming this week. But when you're ready, go ahead and get in touch because it doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to be complicated. And it does not have to be hard, especially when we don't try to do everything alone. So think about that. Have a wonderful day. Have as good a day as it can be because it is still October, right? And until the next time that we talk to each other, walete, sodales.